Hello, stagey folk. It's me, Aaron James, and today we're in Covent Garden in central London, in the West End, to see Mean Girls, the musical. Yes, we've already seen it. We saw it on press night, but today me and Shaun managed to get rush tickets via Today Tix to see the show. So I'm going to show you what seats we managed to get via the rush tickets. I'll explain how rush tickets work to get cheap tickets to see West End shows, and we'll show you the theatre, where it is, and everything like that. But first, we've got Shake Shack. And here is my Shake Shack. So I went for the black and white shake, which, I mean, every time we go to New York, I become obsessed with like the gluten-free black and white cookies, so no way love the taste. So that's become my go-to shake. Normal crinkle fries, and then, so because I eat gluten-free or wheat-free, but I'm not celiac, I order my burger in the lettuce wrap, because you can do an adaptation. What's good about this one in Covent Garden is the fact that it's a screen, so you can do it without talking to people, which I find a lot better, because then I can see that I know it's the right thing. And then, as you can see here, here's Shaun, and Shaun's got his. What did you go for, Shaun?
Just a good old cheeseburger and fries.
Yeah.
And that's cookies and cream.
So we've got a while before the show starts, so I thought I would show you some of the theatres that are by Covent Garden. So you've got The Play That Goes Wrong, Mamma Mia, Frozen over there, and also The Lion King is around this side, and then Operation Mincemeat is just there to the right. But then you just have to head, when you come to Covent Garden, down to the Strand, and that's where you can see Mean Girls. So Shaun, how early do you get to a West End theatre if you're going to see a show?
All depends, but I usually try and get there half an hour beforehand. I like being there, but travel sometimes dictates that.
Yes, I would say West End and Broadway are different. So West End, the theatre's open an hour before curtain, whereas on Broadway, it's half an hour before. So like, you're best really with Broadway, maybe to get there like 20 minutes before, unless you've really got specific things you want to do. 20 minutes before is probably better, because the queue will have started moving, so you're basically going to walk in normal speed, or else you're going to be joining a queue outside the theatre. Don't get there any time before half an hour, because you're literally just going to be in a queue outside. I think only go earlier if you're planning to get drinks at the theatre in the West End, because we have queues. Broadway, you don't really have bar queues. We do here.
Yeah.
You can go around the theatres. We have a lot of foyer spaces. Broadway don't. So merchandise queues, you're best to get them at the start, before the show starts, then in the interval or at the end, because restroom breaks and everybody moving about, intervals means everybody's there, whereas if you're before the show, it's going to be a lot quieter in most places. So I think it depends on what you want to do. If you're going to get photos or anything like that, I'd say best to do it before the show. If you maybe don't like too many people at the theatre, going early is nicer. You can get to your seat and sit down and calm and get everything you need. But even then, I'd still say half an hour, maybe 45 minutes at most. The whole hour before, you're going to end up queuing to get in.
Yeah, I say rule of thumb is around about half an hour.
Yeah.
It gives you enough time to pop to Lear, get a drink, get your programme, and get in your seat.
Yeah, so that's top tips from us. And what we've learned is we ate too early, so we are killing time until half hour before, because if we'd have gone to the theatre when we'd finished our food, we would have been queuing outside the theatre for them to open the doors. And we've both seen Mean Girls already, so there's not actually that much we need to do when we get to a theatre other than see the show.
Just have a good time.
See the show, maybe buy some merch.
Yeah, that's
I have not bought.
Maybe, but
the only time I've seen the show has been on press night, so I didn't buy merch. I think I've got the pin already. I think I got that, but I actually haven't bought merch for this show yet. I haven't really had that full experience.
You don't need a tote.
No, I'm not going to tote bag for this one. Come from where it was necessary. So now that it's approaching half an hour before, let's head to the theatre.
Let's head to the theatre.
Yeah. So we have made it onto the Strand, which is where you'll find the theatre. And if you can see, there's a Mean Girls sign up there that says Savoy Theatre, and then in front you'll see a green Savoy sign. That is the Savoy Hotel. Now the Savoy Theatre is that little white strip on the side that you go in and then you go downstairs, because the Savoy Theatre is on a hill, so it is underneath the hotel. So just as a heads up, if you're walking down the street and you're like, I cannot find this theatre, look for that sign, and it's this kind of drive through here. And I'll do a close-up now. So if you can see, that's the sign saying the Savoy Theatre Mean Girls. That's the Savoy Hotel. And this little bit here is the theatre. So it's not this building that says it's the theatre, it's the building to the right when you go in. You'll go under, the queue normally comes to this right-hand side where this white scaffolding is. You'll queue down through that gap and then a right and then into the theatre downstairs. Savoy can be a bit confusing, but once you're in the theatre, it's very bougie and very nice. Find that and then think it's to the right when you see the Savoy sign. And it's a full house. Shaun's already gone ahead, but see, this is where the scaffolding is, and you just walk straight down through here, and then as you can see in front, that's the theatre entrance on the right hand side. So now tickets out, bag checks, and then you go in. And you come, once you've done tickets and bag check, you come down these steps, and there's the bar, and then further down is the merchandise. So a cool thing about the Savoy, if you're really feeling bougie, is they have a Moet and Chandon mini Moets where you can buy from this machine, where you just do it there, and it comes out there. I just find a mini Moet vending machine is perfect, and the fact that it's obviously rosé fits so much with Mean Girls because it's pink. So some of the merch includes this I'd Rather Be Me t-shirt, and then here's a look at the tote bag, which says I'm a Massive Deal with a logo, and there's pins and cups, many different versions of the cups, which is, I feel like kind of perfect, because I feel like a lot of like teenager, school kids, things to take to work, it's all kind of fitting. And then here's the On Wednesday We Wear Pink t-shirt, and then there is the rest of the merch there. If you can see, there's buttons and pop sockets, and the cool tumbler. And I think that's a keyring. It's all really cool. So then there's a t-shirt which says the Mean Girls. That's the backside of the tote. Then they have a She Doesn't Even Go Here Damien hoodie. And then a big burn book, which is perfect for photos. I love that they have this here. It's a big, big, big yes for me. There's not many theatres where you can actually get a photo, so yes to this. And if you are booking a ticket that includes the Ambassador Lounge, this is where it's located. So right by the merch store, on the mezzanine lounge, on the mezzanine floor, it is here, just down this pathway and through there. And then this is the view. We're in the theatre. So our rush tickets gave us C12 and 13 seats. And then this is the view of the stage, which I think is pretty perfect. This theatre is one of the best ones, I think, for the dress circle, because it is perfectly raked, if you can see. So perfect view, even at the back part of the dress circle, I'd fully recommend here. I don't think it makes a big difference between here and the stalls, because the stalls have to look at. But honestly, the Savoy is one of the few theatres where I think there's great tickets, great seats everywhere. So this is one of those theatres. I've never sat upstairs at this theatre, but the dress circle and the stalls, I can say, I don't think it's a bad seat on either floor. And here is a closer look at more of the merch. So you've got a sticker set, you've got badges, and compact mirror, a fan, you've got socks. I kind of love this cup, can't I? It reminds me of the Frozen one that was like Diamante, but that is very cool. And I love it, it says, you can sip with us. Yes. And then pop socket, you have the keychains, magnet, pin, and then the other t-shirts down there. And we are seated again for Act 2, and you can tell it's Act 2 because there is a completely different type of stage. It's like pink, purple hue. Very fun. And we are back.
Yes, we are.
So that was Mean Girls, the musical at the Savoy Theatre in the West End. What was your favourite part of the show tonight, Shaun?
We had an unexpected cast change. Not my favourite part, but just it was notable.
It was very notable. So what happened was we had a slightly longer interval or intermission, and I hadn't even processed the idea of, could somebody be switching?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they announced that Fergie was going on for the roles of the adult women, the three. So if you didn't know, is Miss Norbury and Regina and Katie's mum, all three parts played by the same performer. So Zoe Ray needed Act 1, and then she was unable to do Act 2, so then her understudy took over, and that also meant that Tommy, the swing, had to go on in a Fergie's track because she was a swing that was on in the ensemble, who then needed to go on for the adult woman, so then he had to do Act 2 in the female ensemble track because they didn't have any more female swings to go on to cover the role, which was very fun to watch, to actually understand how. I personally love to understand how a show has to find a way to still run. If they need to put covers on, and what happens when the covers are on. So we had understudy Katie, we had standby Regina on, we also had understudy Gretchen on. And I think we had all the swings were on. Yeah. Because if you didn't know, with long runners, then people take holiday or the sickness. So, and I think because of the summer holidays, I think there has been quite a bit of holiday as well. So what happens then is the understudies are on and the ensemble and the swings. But it was just very interesting to see how a show... I agree with you, like, it was interesting and notable to see a cast adapt with changes during the show.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's always interesting to see other people take on iconic roles. Oh, look, we have a visitor.
You don't even go here. You weren't at the show. You were not at the show.
I didn't even go here.
You did help us get tickets, but you are not. You don't go here.
He did.
He doesn't even get it.
The Savoy is a really cool theatre.
We were noting. It's kind of one of my favourites, I think, because, well, we're just, like, noting the design. There's not really any other theatre in the West End that kind of looks like it. Bar, I was saying, the New Trafalgar, because they have similar Art Deco.
And it has nice rakes.
Design. But yeah, we were definitely commenting on the circle. It has a really good steep rake, which means even if you have a tall person right here, which seems to happen to me all the time, even if they have a tall person, you still have a great view over the stage.
I will note, when I said that and showed it to you, what I didn't note was the seats. I think it's also the same with the stores, but definitely the seats in the circle are slightly slim.
Yes. Yeah, so we were very snack.
So if you're with your friends, it's okay, but just be conscious that they are quite they are quite close to the people next to you. Yeah. So just be maybe conscious that that you keep to your area.
So they're very snug, but look, plenty of leg room there.
Yeah, leg room was very nice. That's definitely the same downstairs. Then the leg room's really nice in the stores as well. It's interesting seeing how it feels already a bit like a long runner. I'll be honest. Yeah. It already feels very settled in and very like, to say that we had a lot of covers on. It felt like, I mean, I know that they've already been on before, but it definitely felt very
bedded in. Yeah,
very, very chill. Like, it felt like, they're very confident with what they're doing. There wasn't a moment of feeling like, this is a new show and to have this many covers on. It was actually like, this is the norm, which is great to know that it's such a it already feels like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was sold out, which is also very nice to know that Mean Girls is doing well. We got our tickets via Today Tix.
Yeah.
So via the app. If you get the app, you can have rush tickets at 10 a.m. they come out. But what we found out today, and is a thing to note, is if you don't get it during that first half hour or the first 15 minutes when they come out, give yourself a rest, is what I first would say. Is like, if you don't get them in that first period of time.
So some shows release batches later on throughout the day, which I find. So
have a look back at like 11 a.m. and then 12 p.m.
My advice is always have a couple of shows in mind. If you're going to get rush tickets, they're not always guaranteed, obviously, but everyone loves a bargain. But I always say have a couple of shows in mind, and if you're really set on a show, then be patient and hope that there's some, because we had probably, I don't know, like we had some of the best seats in the house, I feel.
They were really good seats.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that is possible, even on a Saturday night. Because also we were on a Saturday night performance, which is definitely the hardest performance of the week
usually
to get.
It's one of the busiest.
So this is also the very end of the summer holidays, so also still many tourists, many people not back at school. So I was very surprised that we managed to get those seats. But it is possible. And my other note is your whole party that are going to try and get the rush tickets should all try and do the rush tickets, because it's so luck of a draw that, like,
I mean,
both of you trying to do it just helps a lot. And remember that you can only get 1 or 2 tickets via Rush Tickets, no more than that for the performance.
Though actually, I was looking at Frozen's Rush
Oh,
tickets.
Frozen
They do
and
4.
Wicked, but Frozen's only here till the 8th of September, so
Yeah.
it'll be just Wicked. But Wicked's a bit different, just to note, is that they are not technically called Rush Tickets. And it's because it's a specific selection of seats. From my understanding with a daily dozen, is that
Isn't it usually
a lot of the time it's the front of a dress circle. And they just slightly work different. I think the amount of seats they have is slightly more specific.
It's a massive theatre as well. So
Yeah, but I've enjoyed the views that we got from that, so that's not a downside to it. But just to note, I just want to shout out to our friends and amazing performers, Grace Moa and Tom
Grace.
Zander, because my gosh, they were giving everything today, and I
Grace is hilarious.
It was just
She perfectly cast as Karen. Just
I love all the. I really enjoyed all the cast tonight, but like it's so fun to see just now with the period of time that they've been in the show how much I can tell that they've set they're in such a comfy place in those roles, and it's so nice to see. For notes on food and etc., you are so close to Covent Garden at the Savoy. There is so many different food options. There's a lot of pre-dining meals places, even like hotel restaurants you can go to there. Opposite near there's the Strand Palace Hotel where you can go for the theatre afternoon tea. So that's a good option if you're going to see a matinee. But you're right near Covent Garden. You're right near everything. You could go for like
there's tons of food options. You're just spoiled for choice.
And it's a great show to see as well if you're going to see like Buckingham Palace or anything that's kind of that area, because it's not that far, it's like further down. So I think this is perfect if you're doing maybe like a city sightseeing day. Mean Girls is a very good fit for it. Thank you so much for watching this vlog. Comment down below with
your favourite Mean Girls quote.
Yeah, your favourite Mean Girls quote. Let's try and keep it a little bit PG. But put your favourite Mean Girls quote below and let us know if you've been to see Mean Girls, are you going to see Mean Girls? And thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, etc. And we shall see you soon for another vlog. Bye!